there we are. Hello, my friends. Ooh, we're back. Say hello, drop in, let me know you're here. How's your morning been? I'm chasing myself around the tail today. Aw, so nice to see you. Thank you. I'm having a funny morning. I feel like I'm just gonna sit here and smile at you all as you arrive. It's been a minute. The last couple of weeks have been funny. I haven't felt like hopping on in the same way, and I think I just got a little in my head about it. And the time away was good. I missed you. It's good to be back. So today will be fun. So many of you ask questions about how to make blends. Just straight up how to make the problem solver at its very, very best. So you get the most out of it, how to do the same thing with the clean dirt. And then there's just so many ways to mix and match and blend with the other formulas in the collection to really meet your needs. And in each of the individual product lives, and if you haven't seen those yet, go to the video tab, drop into all of the deep dive lives on each product. They really are the best place to go deep. But for blends are kind of their own territory. And so today we're gonna play. And I'm thinking that we'll start with, let's start with the clean dirt. I'm curious, maybe you can all just heart if you have things with you. How many of you actually are ready to mix things alongside me? Can you show a stream of hearts? And how many are just listening right now? Yeah, lots of listeners. Okay, great. So I'm gonna plan on this mostly happening in the replay. And with that in mind, some of the things that I'm going to show you are a little bit tricky to see with this camera. It's not the best lighting, it's not the best angle. I know that it's echoey in here too, and so I'm cognizant of that with the talking and the shower sounds, because I have to turn on the shower because this happens wet. So with that in mind, just remember that on the website, lindstrom.com, each of the product pages has really beautiful videos too that show close-ups of the actual mixing. So if you go to lindstrom.com and you go to the individual product page you're curious about, say the clean dirt, drop in there. As you scroll down, there's tabs that you can open up. The ingredients tab, for example, will bring you into the most beautiful video of how the clean dirt is made, right in our studio. Super fresh, you get to see the whole thing. But under the how to use tab, along with the written instructions, you'll also see close-ups. So you can really, really see the texture in there. What I'm gonna do today is walk you through the practical and leave room for you to ask questions, and I can do it over and over and over as many times as we need to. My hope is that when we leave here today, or when you've watched this in the replay, you can stop and pause and go back and check and then send it to all the people you know who are trying to figure it out too. It's not tricky, but for me, I've been doing this so long that it's a dance. And I can't always explain the steps of the dance without just simply dancing. So here we go. First, I'm going to show you how to do both the clean dirt and the problem solver in the bowl. From there, I will demonstrate how to do my versions of that in the palm, and then we'll move into blends. So first I will do both formulas in the bowl. I'm going to begin with the clean dirt. And in both cases today, because I'm using the bowl, I'm going to use a half tablespoon measuring spoon. Can you see that? So this is not a teaspoon, not a tablespoon, but a half tablespoon. That's my preferred amount, really for both the clean dirt and the problem solver for a face application. It's enough to get the really good, rich, moussey texture, and it's not so much that you'll just be piling it on for days and wondering why you have so much. If you use only a teaspoon, it's just barely enough. And so it's great for the maintenance. But the problem solver especially, I'd like to go a little bit more generous, layered on really nice and rich and thick, concentrate the blood flow. Really, really powerful. But I'll get into that when we're mixing that. So first, we'll start with the clean dirt. And I've got funny looking bottles today, so ignore that. I'm testing some things. So also, if you're worried about me wasting lots of product today showing you all these mixes, don't worry, it will all get saved. It's all going on my body later. So don't stress one bit. Okay. Half a tablespoon, measuring spoon. Powder right into the measuring spoon. Another reason to use a bowl, you can put your bowl underneath. Any fallout will land in it. And then just adjust your water ratio accordingly. Drop that in the bowl. And then I'm going to get equal parts water. Actually, I'm gonna want pourable water. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm here, but I'm gonna fill this up and then I can keep it a little bit quieter in here with the shower noise for a moment, 2 seconds, and I'll fill the water. All right, so now we can go equal parts water. This is just water from the sink. If you're feeling fancy, you can use the Jasmine Garden. I'll probably show you that later. Equal parts. And you can see the water tension makes it easy to fill to the line. If your powder portion was a little generous, a little bit more on the heaping side, you might need a few more drops after. If your portion was pretty exact and smooth across the top, then match it with the water. It's better to be slightly shy than too much water. You can always add a couple more drops water back in, but once the water's in there, you can't take it out. So add it in. I'm gonna go right into the bowl. I'll try to show you this as much as I can. So also, if you're watching this, then you are already someone curious about doing blends and you absolutely need our bowl and brush. Absolutely need. It's almost a non-negotiable. I wish I could just add them to every order for real. Okay, can you hear this? That is about my favorite sound in the world. That bubbling, fizzing. It's pretty incredible. Look at that. There we go. And how fast did that come together? Okay, right in the bowl. And you've got a lot in there. So this is gonna seem like way too much. I promise you, it's not. Because once you get it on, let me show you what it looks like in your hand and why I don't do it that way for most people. So if you watch the Deep Dive Live, you've seen this. But here's what most people do with the clean dirt. Hand, a little bit of powder, right? Like that much or so is how most people tend to start unless I tell them otherwise. And then they'll add some water. Let's say this is coming from your sink. Just a bit. All right. And then people do this and they rub it together and it all disappears. There's nothing interesting happening there. This is gritty. It doesn't feel good. It's kind of grimy. I don't love this. I don't want to put it on my face. Also, I'm just not going to. This is not what I want on my face. This is what I want on my face. Okay? So, again, maybe okay, hands are clear. You can do the same thing in your hand, and maybe I'll show you that. So the hand is not the issue. The issue is that most people's hands aren't big enough to hold as much as you need to hold in there when you're using it. And so because of that, if you have really little hands, you might never be able to. I have kind of long fingers, small hands, long fingers. So I can hold a decent amount of powder and get it all mixed in there pretty good. Plus, I've been doing this for like 20 years. So for me, holding this little cup and keeping it together, super easy, super, super easy. But I think my hand naturally folds into the perfect cup after so much practice. I use the clean dirt about every 2 or 3 days. So I'm as pro as you can get at the clean dirt. But for you, when you're just starting, if your hands are little or if you have a hard time holding like this, the instinct is just to use, this tiny little bit. And very rarely do I ever see anybody mixing it the way that I do, which is to fold it in. And that really is the idea, is to fold in the water with your finger, one finger, like this, maybe two, mix it around, you make that moussey texture. If you put the whole thing between your hands, you've spread it out. You've already diminished it completely. So go back to the palm. There's not quite enough in here at the moment, and I'm just repeating this. So I'm going to add a little bit more, so it's about a true teaspoon at least, or a half tablespoon, ideal. So now it's in my palm. If I had the shower on, and I will show you that later, if I had the shower on, I would turn into the stream of water, put my fingers flat, holding the powder, again, keep your hand in a little cup, and then I would have the shower water. And I'm saying shower a lot, not only because I'm not in there right now, but because you always should be with the clean dirt. It's really important. The clean dirt's super powerful, and it really will shed all of the dead skin that's ready to go. It will get it. And so the important part is that you prep your skin so that that is a gentle, feel-good process as well as being effective. Because it's going to be effective either way, and how much you enjoy it and the level of efficacy you reach, that part's up to you. So if you begin in the shower, stay in there until your skin gets warm and soft. It gets this squishy point. Once you've reached that, that's when this can go on, not before. So if you're doing it at the sink, which I don't recommend, or if you're doing it at the very, very beginning of your shower before you've even really had a chance to soften in, it's just a little early. So give yourself a little bit of time. So again, pretend I'm already super shower softened, super ready and squishy. Then you mix this. So assuming all that's taken care of up here, you turn into the stream of water. The water is going to be coming like this, streaming down your fingers into your little cup. So support it. Stream the water down into the little cup. And when it goes into your palm, and again, look at the videos on the website, so it's a little more clear. You can just mix like this. If I was in the shower, I'd be able to keep putting the water in through just hitting my fingertips. And that will work a lot easier than pouring from a bottle wall in the shower. Okay, so I'm mixing this together. And again, reason to do this in the shower number 5 billion. If I had the water going and was nude, I could put this all over my chest and neck, and as I'm blending and powder fallout is happening and you're making a little bit of a mess, that can fall right onto your skin. That's really, really useful. You don't waste anything that way. And then you can take the treatment down. You can treat your armpits, the backs of your shoulders, the backs of your arms. Is there a person on the planet who doesn't have bumpy backs of their arms? And this is what it looks like. So mixed in your hand, that same sound. So good. I'm gonna scoop all of that into this bowl for a big mega super treatment. Beautiful. Everyone always thinks this looks like a root beer float, and it does to me. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one there for a moment. No, I'm gonna stay with it. Let's just stay with the clean dirt. I'm gonna rinse my hand. 2 seconds. Change my mind before I move along. Let me see about your questions so I don't go too fast. It'll take me a moment to catch up. So thank you, everybody. I did the Honeyman problem solver and the pimple I had on my forehead disappeared this morning. Problem solver and the Honeyman is so good. I will show you that one. Will you be coming out with half tablespoon spoons? Yes, for sure. When? I have no idea. I looked into this a handful of years ago when we introduced the dandelion wand. And if you don't know what the dandelion wand is, go to our website, look at the dandelion wand. So that beautiful little treasure is made of real gold and was produced by local artisans here in Los Angeles. Two families came together with a history of more than 50 years making jewelry here locally, and they did such a spectacular job on the dandelion wand, and each of those are hand numbered and so precious and so beautiful. I'd show you one, but I moved out of this bathroom and I don't have anything in here. We're doing construction next week, so this is actually my last time in this little gray space. Anyway, when I checked in with them about the possibility of doing a measuring spoon, it was literally going to cost like $600 to make it out of gold, as we did with the dandelion one. So I passed. And I will come up with an alternative for you. Don't worry. But in the meantime, your kitchen measuring spoons are wonderful and perfect. If you're going to invest somewhere in extra tools, really all you need is a treatment bowl and brush. It will make the mixing and the cleanup and the application so much easier. And this particular one someone asked about, I got these off Amazon years ago. I think they're discontinued currently, but you can find them around. If you just search brass measuring spoons, the internet will help you. The half tablespoon is a little bit tricky to find, but you can also, as you get dialed in, you could use a full tablespoon, fill it halfway. You could also do a teaspoon and make it a little heaping. There's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon, if that reference is helpful. If you are in the UK or somewhere that doesn't use these measurements, I'm sorry. That's definitely a reason to make a scoop. So I hear the request. Yes, get yourself the bowl and the brush for your birthday. And no, I'm not testing a new version of the Clean Dirt. These are from a number of batches we did. We changed out the mixer blades on the machine that blends the Clean Dirt. So the Clean Dirt is a combination of different clays and salts and spices from all over the world. And those ingredients get shipped in fresh to our kitchen lab where we break them down, put them all away, sort them all up, and then those raw ingredients get made into our fresh batches right there on site in our lab. And it goes from these like flower petals and clays and just raw things, raw materials, to this extraordinary fine powder that with the addition of water bubbles and fizzes and pops up into a mousse. I don't know. I have the coolest job. We have the coolest job here. Really love having you all with us to experience it. Okay, and someone says using the brush doesn't work good. So I would love, if you are having any trouble with this beyond what I get through today, take a video. If you can, set yourself up. You can balance your phone in a bowl or something if you don't have a stand. But just shoot how you mix it and send it to us at care@maylindstrom.com or pop it over in a DM to me on Instagram, and I can look at it and I can probably tell you. Usually it's ratio. Usually it's not using quite enough powder. And skimping on the formula won't work. Just really straightforward. It's just like I showed you with the Clean Dirt. If there's just a little bit to it, it doesn't have anything to grip onto the dead skin. There's no texture there. There's no feeling there. What you're getting is individual grains of minerals. It doesn't feel good. But when you have enough, it covers the surface area in a completely different way and it turns cushy. So if it's feeling really, really aggressive for you, and powerful is good, but aggressive is not, increase your ratio. and then if it's feeling flat, or if it's too pasty, or if it's too thin, or something else, reach out. Can you put it on the face also, or just the body? Actually, this is mostly about face. So in general, the Clean Dirt and the Problem Solver were both formulated for facial skin. I like to think of it like the Clean Dirt is our brightening, decongesting, spot clearing, after spot clearing. When you have a breakout and you have a pimple or a red spot or a something, afterwards, once the acuteness has passed, there's those spots that are left behind. The Clean Dirt is magical for clearing those and then reducing any kind of discoloration, hyperpigmentation, and really shedding dead skin so that your moisturizers can do what they need to do. Often I'm recommending the Clean Dirt because people have dry skin, and that's often when people don't think to use it. And part of that is because the Clean Dirt can feel really powerful. So I'm going to show you, maybe I'll do that right now. Oh, did I get through the questions? Okay, don't let me move too far. I'm going to do the blends with the Honey Mud and the Problem Solver with the Clean Dirt as soon as I get through the rest of your questions. Okay, I like to use the Clean Dirt also on the legs. Yeah, Clean Dirt everywhere. Is your brush dry when you start to mix? This time my brush was wet because I had just cleaned it, because my 10-year-old daughter, not 10, she's 9, she'll be 10 in a couple months, did the Problem Solver last night and didn't wash her brush. So I had to start by cleaning the brush. So I started with a wet brush this time. Whether your brush is wet or dry doesn't really matter, but when you're really dialing in your ratios, do pay attention to it. If you're using a brush and it's fully saturated with water, that's obviously going to have a higher water ratio than if you start with a dry brush that has nothing. Same as if you have little bits of water still in the bottom of your bowl, you can easily have a 1/4 teaspoon or a 1/2 teaspoon in there just rolling around in the edges. So factor that in, use a little bit less, and remember you can always add more. But again, use a measuring spoon, use our bowl and brush, and I promise it's so fast. It's just so fast. Okay, I'm gonna show you again how fast it can be in a blend. We'll do it like this. You can time me. Clean Dirt, powder, 1/2 tablespoon. There we go, about even. Into the bowl. Liquid. And again, this can be water. It could also be the Jasmine Garden. Into the bowl, even. Whoops! I don't know how I can keep it even and show you at the same time. Really testing gravity. Okay, into the bowl. Brush. Mine is dirty and slightly wet. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. And that's it. It's ready. Fizzy, moussey, puffy. If I was going to add the Clean Dirt to this, the Pendulum Potion to this, which I like to do if I'm feeling dry, you can actually just go ahead and add this right to the bowl. Several pumps, again, Pendulum Potion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you stir it right in. And instantly, the texture changes, again, into something else. Now, it's this smooth, creamy, rich thing. You see that? And that feels amazing. It still has that puffy, fizzy, Clean Dirt kind of texture to it, but it has this hydration that's coming from the Pendulum Potion. I don't know why these two together, I think, might actually be my favorite smell in the whole collection. It's just this moment when the Pendulum Potion and the Clean Dirt come together. It's so just warming and beautiful. Okay, and then If you wanted, you could add a dollop of the honey mud in here too. Maybe I'll show you that as well, just so you can see how the different changes affect things. Honey mud. And I'm just gonna reach in, I'm gonna use my measuring spoon just because, again, this is a half tablespoon, but I'm only gonna use about half of a half tablespoon, so about a quarter tablespoon, which is less than a teaspoon. There we go, a dollop. Drop that right into the bowl. And now I've got all that good stuff in there. So what I've got in here right now is the clean dirt with the Pendulum Potion and the honey mud. Oh, this one. Creamy, 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 creamy. So silky. It took all of the lusciousness of the honey mud and combined it with the antioxidant, sensorial, hydrating experience of the Pendulum Potion. And now it's just, I don't know, this fabulous thing. I'm gonna rinse. All right, I'm going to pour this concoction into the other concoction. Also, yes, 2 bowls, because sometimes you have to put all your extra in one bowl so you can keep going. And at the very end, I'm putting it head to toe. So, all right. So now I'm not starting with a perfectly clean bowl because y'all know why. Deliciousness in there. But let's do a little problem solver demo before I turn on the shower and get loud. Okay. I'm gonna actually clean this out in 2 seconds. Maybe you'll just come. That'll be easy. All right, here's how easy it is to clean a bowl. Important things, face down. This brush is wood, and this brush is wooden, and this is a recyclable metal. The bristles are Taclon, which is a vegan fiber. And so if you hold the brush up while washing it, this cup will fill up with water, and eventually this will crack because it's wood. It'll expand. So when you're washing, head down. Turn on your water. Also, it's highly unlikely your brush will get as messy as mine just did. And all you do is this, fingers in the water, just like that. And that's it. A few seconds on the brush. It doesn't have to be perfect. Reshape the head, set that aside, bowl. Right in the water, thumb around the rim. Quick, 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 swish, swish. And that's it. There's a real gold dandelion in here, so keep these out of the dishwasher. Technically, they're top shelf dishwasher safe. They are also a piece of art, and they are a steal. These are only $40. I haven't changed the price in more than 10 years on these bowls. They're so special, they're so extraordinary. They take 5 weeks to make. They're a process that Melissa, our artist, has undergone for us for the last decade. And she's just amazing, and I love her. And these bowls are very special. They're also very practical. These curved sides help contain the powder, which, especially going up against the curve of this brush, really allows the mixing to happen in the bowl. It stays nice and moussey and together instead of having the powder fly around the room. Okay, so now I have a clean bowl to begin again with the problem solver. But give me a second to make sure I've gone through questions first before I dive in there again. Yes. See, the brush works amazing. Never going back. Didn't realize how much I needed it until I purchased it. Thank you for sharing that. For an active pimple, can you apply the Problem Solver as a spot treatment daily? Yes. So if you're just doing a spot treatment and you're using the Problem Solver, you can use the Problem Solver up to daily for the spot treatment. However, more powerful, more effective is to do a full mask over the entire face, neck, and chest, concentrating the blood flow, concentrating everything that's happening up here, and benefiting your entire region. The pimple is just what presents through one pore. Through just one pore, maybe a couple of irritated pores around it, but what you're seeing is just, it's literally the tip of the iceberg. And so there's more that's going on underneath the skin, and all of it is talking to each other. And so I never want you to treat just the pimple unless you just don't have time. If you don't have time, mix up a little bit of the Problem Solver, stick it on the spot, and go about your life. Rinse it off, do that daily. You can leave it on for 10 minutes, 30 minutes or so. It's nice if you can rinse in the shower. Same thing, just for the full reset and not having any friction. If it's just a teeny, teeny, tiny little spot, then fine. Go ahead, wash out however you like. But really, do the clean dirt every 2 to 3 days. Adjusting. If you have really dry skin, it might be more like once a week. If you have deeper, heavier congestion, lots of texture, really thick, hardy skin, you might be daily. So begin with every 2 to 3 days with the clean dirt and increase from there. For the Problem Solver, I suggest once a week for maintenance, up to 3 times a week if you're working through something acute, or if you're looking for a faster result, or if you're leading up to some kind of an event, whatever you have going on. So 1 to 3 times a week for the Problem Solver. I tend to do the clean dirt in the mornings. I tend to do the Problem Solver in the evenings. None of those are hard rules. Put them where they fit. Yeah, I can't get that good consistency with the brush. Can use the clean dirt or honey mud while using retinol. I'm using retinol on alternate nights, but still have the clean dirt and honey mud too. Yes, if it's working for you, go for it. Personally, I don't use retinol, and my skin is too sensitive to experiment with it at this time. But we have lots and lots and lots of clients who use retinol, and it's absolutely compatible. What I would say for any of these, sometimes people look at natural skincare, like mine, as maybe just a spa treatment, maybe just a fun sensorial experience. And yes, this is the land of sensorial experience and turning your home moments into spa moments, for sure. That, if that's what you're looking for, you are home. But there is power in these formulas. And I'm not going to talk about it because we're not on subject, but if you don't know where I come from as a formulator, know that that is 1,000,000,000% first, and the rest is what I've gotten to untangle over the last decade as being important to me too. So efficacy is there, but be careful because they are powerful, they are potent. This is not some neutral clay that you're putting on your skin. There are all kinds of beautiful, powerful plant actives in there that you will notice a sensation, you will notice flushing, you will notice tingle, you will notice all of those things, and they're fantastic. This is what you want. The clean dirt feels strange. When I use it, it tingles, it itches, sometimes it feels burny. Sometimes I feel hardly nothing and it feels really good, like scratching your back. Same thing with the Problem Solver. I can put it on one day and it feels like cold mud. And I can put it on a different day. Maybe I've been crying, I've been stressed, I haven't slept enough, I've been exercising, I was in a hot bath, maybe I exfoliated beforehand, maybe I over-exfoliated beforehand. All of those things will amplify the experience of what comes with it. So if you are combining our collection with strong actives, I strongly recommend that you reach out to us at care@lindstrom.com so we can guide you personally. Nothing I can say to a crowd of you over the internet on a video, a one-way video, is going to be as useful as that. Is that blend still best to do in the shower? Yes, do everything in the shower. Everything. Your skin is always going to be the most receptive when it's soft and squishy and ready from being prepped in the steam and the heat. So bring it on then. You will get so much more benefit. Is it possible to exfoliate with the clean dirt before the honey mud is a... Yes, absolutely. You can do the clean dirt first to get all of the dead stuff cleared out, and then the honey mud coming in after brings in this surge of moisture and glow and plumpness that's really, really beautiful. You can also reverse them. You can cleanse first with the honey mud to soften the skin and really, really prep it. If it's feeling, let's say this, if you wake up knowing that you've got dead skin and it's ready to shed and you just like can't wait to get in there, start with the clean dirt. After, if you're wanting some more of that like plumpness put back in, follow it with the honey mud. But if you wake up and you know that you want to exfoliate, but you're feeling a little intimidated by the potency of the clean dirt, you still want all that action, but you maybe want a softer physical experience, adding in the honey mud first will soften the skin and open it up so that it's ready for the real power of the clean dirt. I hope that makes sense. And then you can also, of course, blend them together. Can use this out of the shower. You can use this out of the shower. Watch the clean dirt deep dive for why not to. I'll just say in short, please don't use a cloth with either the clean dirt or the problem solver. Both of them are intense enough, powerful enough, effective enough on their own. If you add a face cloth to that, you are adding more stimulation than I want for you. The reason I'm testing the blades on our blenders is because the consistency is super important. It's so important to me. And so if you are adding a face cloth to that, I've taken this super fine powder that fluffs up into a mousse, and adding the aggression of a face cloth to it makes it a completely different formula. And so you can hurt yourself. It's designed to be used in the way that I'm sharing with you. It's designed to be used in the way that I'm sharing with you. So you can do it at the sink. If you absolutely must do it at the sink, you can. Please watch the Clean Dirt Deep Dive Live. Okay, please explain timing in the shower. If you wait until skin is squishy, then put on the clean dirt mix on face, how long to leave on? I tend to run out of other things to do and don't want to waste water. Yes, good point. Okay, when we get to the end and I have all of these bowls full of things I'm going to use up, I'm going to turn on the shower and make a bunch of noise, and I will walk you through the whole timing. We'll just do it. I'll take off my robe and we'll just do it, and then you'll see. All right. Unrelated to this live, is there going to be a summer GWP this year? I'm already subscribed to your newsletter and I can't wait for the GWP. Yes, there will be. And newsletter is definitely the best place to find out. Typically we do something big and fun in the summer and something big and fun in the fall or winter. I can't tell you any more than that. But if you're not on my newsletter, get on the newsletter. I'm also, we're starting to add in secret things that are not shared on the internet. So, any of you watching this live, if you're not on the newsletter list, you won't know what I'm talking about. So get on the newsletter list. Fun things are coming. How would you use these with rosacea? Okay, go to Lindstrom.com. There is a tab called Explore Skin Rituals. Go there. There is a step-by-step ritual adapted for, 10 different categories, ranging from oily and acne skin to dry and sensitive skin to things like post-cancer care, post-trauma skin, psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis. Rosacea fits into that camp. So start there as a place to jump off from, and then reach out to us for direct care, because rosacea is medical, it's chronic, it's painful, it's finicky, and it's so individual. But we can absolutely support you. You are my favorite demographic to work with. It's really what I come from. This is my foundation as a formulator, so welcome. I'm glad you're here. Send us an email, send me a DM. Let's be in touch. I use the handle of the brush instead to mix. Should I use fingers? Well, if you have the brush, use the brush, my loves. If you are in the shower, it doesn't make any sense to use the brush in your hand. I don't have any occasion where I would use the handle instead. But you could, I suppose, if you wanted to. Where can I find your products? In France. We ship worldwide, direct from our studio. So when you order from us, you're actually receiving everything right from our building. So if you came for a tour, which we can't do, but if you did, if you came into our space, it's like walking into a small bakery. So we've got a wall of clays and honeys and oils and all of the things where everything's made. We have a room dedicated to, we call it the dirt room, where all the powders are made. So the clean dirt and the problem solver are made in there. It's a messy operation, as you can imagine. Imagine clouds of both of those powders in the air. Special situations in that room. And then we have the oil room where all of the oil-based blends are made. So it's a different kind of clean space for that container. And everything ships right from there. Also, our entire shipping team, everything happens right on site. So we blend everything fresh. The ingredients come in, we blend them all. We make everything in micro batches. Every bottle gets a birthday on it, and we ship fresh from there with a little note tucked in, and 2 deluxe samples are tucked into every order. There's free international shipping. US shipping is always free, and we like to make it really, really special and beautiful. For most of our history, we were with the best retailers in the world. We had a wonderful, wonderful experience with that, and a growing experience with that really pointed me strongly in the direction of what I love to do best. And you know, this whole company was built on intimacy. It was built on relationship. It was built on this tuning in piece. The freedom that I have felt to really go there without navigating all of the needs of an extended retail family has been freeing. So the best way to order from us, wherever you are in the world, is through Lindstrom.com. That is where we do our best work. And I want to make the best impression that I can. And I think ours is the very best impression. So let us delight you. For international people, when you're shopping with us, add our cart. Any taxes that your government requires, any duties, any extra fees, any extra anything, what you pay at our cart is the whole thing. We take care of anything that follows after that. So there's no surprises at delivery except the beautiful special ones. Go to our shipping page at Lindstrom.com. Read all the details. I promise we've got you. All right, so since the Clean Dirt and Problem Solver contain vitamin C, and the vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin, if I blend one of these two with the honey mud that has oils in it, will the vitamin C work? That is why when you're mixing with the blends, you begin with the powder. So if I'm going to do the Clean Dirt and the Pendulum Potion, for example, I would do the Clean Dirt plus water, make that into a mousse, add in the Pendulum Potion. If I was doing the Clean Dirt and the honey mud, I'd mix the Clean Dirt with water, form a mousse, add in a dollop of the honey mud, mix it together. If I was doing the Problem Solver and the honey mud, I would mix the Problem Solver with the water, bubble fizzy mousse, add in the honey mud. That way. So all of my formulas, all of them require water. The ones that don't come with water, you add the water. It's either that or I charge you for water and add fillers and preservatives, and I don't want to do that. And you don't want me to do that either. It's so much better when we go concentrated and pure and potent. So when you're using our fatty formulas, the Blue Cocoon, the Youth Dew, they need water too. So I could either do that in a blender right? I've used this analogy before. If I had a mixer in front of me and I dumped in a bottle of the Jasmine Garden and a jar of the Blue Cocoon and I pushed go, it would emulsify into this incredibly luscious, beautiful, sexy, gorgeous cream. The most beautiful thing you've ever seen. But if I was to sell that to you on a shelf, I'd have to load it up with preservatives in order for it to do that because of the addition of water. So you add the water at application, and same thing with the Clean Dirt and the Problem Solver. Everything comes to life right then. Our vitamin C is powder. When it hits water, it wakes up. It's so cool. So yes, always water. Mix your water first. Is there ever a reason or a situation where you would do the Clean Dirt and the Problem Solver in the same day? Yeah, I sometimes do. If I'm looking for a more deep clean, if I'm looking to go more intense with it, if I know that I have lots of layers under there, or if it's been a while since I've done it, maybe every month I might do a deeper clean that way. I've certainly done it many times, demonstrating with all of you. I'm sure I will in a moment when I turn on the shower. So you can. If you have sensitive skin, finicky skin, dry skin, easily freaked out skin, don't do that. Or at least do it on opposite days or on opposite sides of the day to begin. Learn your skin, learn the formulas, and then advance. There's not generally a reason why you would need to do them in the same day on a regular basis. Alternating is really nice. Do I still need to apply sunscreen if I use your products? My formulas have nothing to do with the sunscreen that you use. My formulas do not contain sunscreen, so if you want to wear sunscreen, wear sunscreen. I'm new to Blue Cocoon. What would you advise your perfect purchase next? Lindstrom.com, my loves. There's so many directions to go, and it all depends on you, your skin, your desires. Okay, that is the end of those. So, clean bowl. Coming back in here, I'm going to go ahead with the Problem Solver. I'm going to do the same thing. Show you a couple of these. All right, Problem Solver. My hero. If you haven't tried the Problem Solver yet, you don't even know what you're missing. There's not a way to show how spectacular this is because it just looks like a jar of mystery clay. It's so much more. It just does no justice showing it to you in a jar. Half tablespoon into the bowl. Water, equal parts. Into the bowl. And again, if you have used the measuring spoon, it's quick. Mix, 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 mix. And you see how these curved sides keep the powder in, even though I am at an angle and trying to shoot a video. Look how quickly that came together. Just like that. There we go. You see the bubbles, the fizziness. The best. Okay, so that's the Problem Solver. Straight up, regular ratios. Half tablespoon powder, equal parts water, blend to a fizzy mousse in here. If you're going to add, somebody DM'd me earlier and asked, so the Pendulum Potion in the Clean Dirt is one of my very, very favorite things. And so they asked, is the Pendulum Potion and the Problem Solver doable as well? And I would say no, actually, on that one. And here's why. So the Problem Solver contains activated bamboo charcoal. On its own, at full strength, with water, and these herbs and clays and salts and vitamin C that it's held within, this will rinse away in seconds from the shower. If you add an oil to this, or if your face is already really oily, either from your own natural oils, or if you cleanse with the Pendulum Potion beforehand but didn't use a cloth, or whatever the reason might be, if you've got oil on your skin. If you put the Problem Solver over the oil on your skin, the Problem Solver will bond to the oils that are on your skin and can create a slight staining effect. That does not happen if you're not blending it with other oils. So it's important to start with freshly cleansed skin, and it can be wet or dry. That part is up to you. Experiment with both. They feel slightly different and activate slightly different. Sometimes wet skin can actually feel more intense, so just know that. I lost my train of thought. That's all right. Okay, so, where'd it go? I'm going to add to the Problem Solver the honey mud, and I'm just gonna reach in and get it this time. A nice thick dollop. Oh, look at that. And you can see all the cacao oil resin on there. Also, for those of you who have the honey mud, if you ever see that, the different kind of caramely colors, that is normal. That is normal, that is good. That's our fresh cacao oil resin. It is so special. That's made for us in the south of France, fresh, by a producer who makes cacao for food. And it really is. It's just like the most delightful, nourishing, beautiful thing. It's so different than any cacao that's processed for the cosmetic or fragrance industry. It's just a different level. And that's what that looks like. So it goes from this fizzy, puffy mousse to being this glidey, silky thing. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. And I'm gonna turn on the Problem Solver, turn on the shower, and stay with me. It's gonna get a little bit louder, but from here, I'm going to drop into the part where I'm gonna show you the timing. So what I'll do, I'll also show you what it looks like to layer some things. So I'm going to begin by cleansing. No, I'm not. My skin's actually feeling a little bit sensitive. I was going to show you first cleansing with the honey mud, following that with the clean dirt, so you could see what that looks like in the shower. Now I'm going back to what I originally planned. That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the honey mud so you can see how I'm going to soften my skin with it pre-clean dirt. I'm going to move into the clean dirt at full strength so I can show you mixing it in my palm. We'll rinse that off. The rinse technique is actually really important with the clean dirt, so stay there. And then we'll follow it with the Problem Solver. And I'm just going to mix it and put it on, and we'll end there. All right? Cool. All right, let's go. I have a shower full of stools and things. Also, if you're ever curious what this looks like for me to set up for a live, this is what happens. It's just mayhem everywhere. It's madness. And also, look at this bowl of delicious things that is going to pour all over my body at some point here. And here's the rest of the honey mud and the Problem Solver. Okay, turn the water on. I'm really excited to be starting renovations on this bathroom. I've grown a little bit fond of it. It's kind of adorable. It's got these funny tiles. The previous owner's children made these ones. So I have a little fondness for them. But overall, this tile is very loud. And this gray is very gray. And I'm really excited to get to play and plan and prepare my own perfect space to share with all of you. All right. I need you to be higher. What's funny is you can hear all my sounds of me talking to myself and humming to myself too. Okay, so to You want to be in the shower, and I'm going to start by rinsing my skin just to soften it so that it can prep for the honey mud. So, one moment. And what I want you to be seeing here, maybe I have to angle it a little bit. Oh, can you see me? Yeah. Okay. So what I'm aiming for is to be able to, when you first get in the shower, your skin feels like a barrier. After you've been in there for a minute, it softens. So you stay under here, massaging using your fingertips, actually getting in there like this with the water. So breathe from your mouth or your nose if you can, whatever works. Get under there and do your massage. Okay, and it doesn't have to take super long, but even in just those few seconds, I went from feeling my outside skin to feeling what feels like my inside skin. And even in these few seconds, since I turned off the water, which is literally seconds, I can feel my skin starting to return to the outside skin. So it's important to get in there while it's still squishy and soft. Honey mud, wet skin. Between the fingertips like this, makes it all nice and silky, onto the skin. Breathe. Take it down the neck, anywhere you're going to cover. You can also do everything in your armpits, and I do, in the backs of your necks, and I do. I like to think of this as one whole zone, and your blood flow is there, and all of this shows up and is affected by your touch. So be thorough. Okay, skin's nice and soft. That feels really good and clean. Water back on. Rinse into the stream. Fingertips. Really pay attention to the neck and jawline. A lot of times people are breaking out here because they're rinsing at the sink like this. And when you're rinsing at the sink like this, watch what happens. The water comes like this. You splash. You splash. You splash. You know what's happening? You're accumulating all of that runoff right here, right there. It all drains right to this area and builds up and breaks you out. So, under the shower, chin up. Really pay attention here. And then, clean dirt into the palm. And this time, I'm going to show you with the running water in the shower. And again, it's more than you think you need. It's a full teaspoon. It about fills my tiny long hand. And so now I'm going to turn on the water. I'm going to turn it on light so I can control the stream a little bit. Maybe I can get this a little closer. Okay, so the water is running like this. Put your fingertips right where it hits. So when it comes down, it starts to fill the palm like this. And you can add just tiny bits of water by putting your fingertips, this part. So the water hits here. If the water hits right into the middle of your palm, it's going to puff up that powder and blow the mess everywhere. So what you actually want is for it to hit your fingertips and it drain down the river right into your cup. So in here, and like I said before, if you mix this over your chest, if you're making a mess, put your hands right by your chest. Any fallout will land on your chest, it'll land on your belly, and then you can rub it in later and still get the most of that treatment. Okay, fizzy, fizzy, fizzy. That was the wrong direction. Okay, and scoop it up. There we go, just like that. Over the skin, I put a big dollop everywhere. Can you hear me tingle? And massage. So those couple minutes with the honey mud were enough to soften my skin enough that now the honey mud going on, I can feel the honey mud sink into the skin and find its way into where it needs to be in a different way. If I just put this on basically fresh rinse, not prepped skin, it would feel too aggressive. It would feel like the clean dirt was working at removing the dead skin, but doing so in a way that's like scraping it off. And that's just never, ever, ever how I want you to describe taking care of your skin, especially when you're using formulas that can do that and don't have to. So I'm not being overly delicate. I get in here. I'm actually massaging my skin. You can see I am in there. This feels really, really wonderful, especially the throat, the chest, right here. When you're alone, do your breasts, do your belly. It's so good. It's so good. And it's just using things you're gonna rinse off anyway. So start up here. Concentrate your attention up here. Keep your breathing. And then make your way. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this one and then I'm gonna talk about the rinsing steps. I can never get enough of the chest one. This also just feels really good. For those of you here just for the spa moments, take note of this one. Drop in, massage your chest, massage your belly. This feeling calms me down like nothing else. The clean dirt and the pendulum potion together, come back for that. Do that for sure in the shower. Okay, clean dirt. To rinse, I'm going to put my face right under the water. Ready? Fingertips ready. I'm gonna put myself right into the stream. It rinses in seconds, so my only job here is to facilitate that rinsing with my little fingers. Your nose will absolutely get powder in it. That's okay. You can blow your nose in the shower. Already, I feel completely different in my skin. Okay, if I was just doing the clean dirt, actually I'm gonna keep doing this for a minute because I want you to see this. I'm going to put on the problem solver after, but if I wasn't, and even though I am, when you're done with the clean dirt, what it does is it is loosening up all the dead skin that's sitting on the surface. So you've got the surface of your skin. The top part gets all this accumulation of dead skin, oils, environmental debris, pollution, SPF, makeup, whatever you've got going on there. It's all just sticky sitting on the surface. And so clearing that out through effective products, but also through your own effective touch is really important. So after you rinse, tune into your fingertips. The actual sensation of your fingertips, because they are the only little beings on the planet that have any idea what your skin needs now. I can't tell you. Your mind can't tell you. No label can tell you. No website directions can tell you. Your fingertips have to tell you. Take your fingertips to your skin. Feel the sensations. When you find a spot that feels a little rough or where you can feel dead skin starting to move, firm touch. Again, my skin is soaking wet. Soaking wet and super soft and really well prepped. So now when I'm doing this is not damaging my skin. This is not rubbing too much. This isn't going to... One of my biggest pet peeves. For decades and decades and decades, women were taught to massage their face, well, not at all, and to use their ring finger to apply eye cream. Okay, a couple of things. I won't go on a tangent about eye cream, but but what I will say is that your face loves massage. Your face loves massage. True story might be, my face loves massage. And I invite you to spend some time massaging your sweet skin and see how you feel about it too. And sometimes that massage is real feel good and real beautiful, and please click on some videos of me using the blue cocoon and the youth dew, and all together with the jasmine garden to check that out. But what I'm talking about is this part that goes on no box, goes on no label, and it's where after I have used the clean dirt, I just spend some time with my fingertips and my skin going around and getting the excess cleared. Because if I'm not doing this, what's happening? I've loosened it all up, I've left it there, and then I would rinse, and I'm gonna put oils on, I'm gonna glue it in. Gross. Don't do that. So when you're using the clean dirt, it's getting it all loosened and on the surface and ready to go. So your job is to do that and then rinse and then keep it going by finding these sensations. And if you feel like there's still a lot of texture after, that's when you follow with the problem solver. Does that make sense? Because if you feel really smooth and super silky right now, you might be just done. If you feel really smooth and silky, but maybe a little bit dry, or maybe like you want to feel some plumpness, maybe I'm going in with the honey mud after, right? Just over the top, a few minutes there. What I'm feeling, I have some little bumps. Mostly I feel really, really smooth, especially after the problem solver. I do have a couple little spots clearing up. I had a little spot there. But what's really showing up in my skin right now, and it's minimal, is a little bit of bumpiness and redness around my nose and mouth, and that tends to be there. I have a family history and a lifelong history of perioral dermatitis and similar conditions in my skin, and they flare up from time to time. It's not a big deal. I take care of it and it moves, and as long as I'm staying consistent with myself, it tends to be pretty mild. But not always. And when that's coming, when I'm noticing these, one of the things my skin is asking for is the problem solver. And so I end up just going back to that. I already have this one mixed. So I'm just gonna go in with the problem solver. Whoop. This one is blended with the honey mud. So I think it's actually the perfect thing for right now. I can feel that it's smoother and silkier and softer than the problem solver on its own. But that can be a little misleading because the honey mud is powerful also. The honey mud has a salicylic acid in it that is really special. It actually is the first natural salicylic acid that I've worked with, and that's really been available. And it's made from wintergreen, which is super cool. And it's not minty, it's not tingly, it doesn't like feel or smell or anything like wintergreen, but it's just the compound from the wintergreen plant that contains a natural salicylic acid. It is a real salicylic acid. So it performs exactly in the same functional way as a conventional, but it's made of plants. So it's my alley. And that felt really, really good to share with you. Okay, bonus of the bowl. You get to the bottom of the bowl, use your hands. Don't waste a thing. I'm gonna make a big old mess, but that is the idea. So I'm just gonna bring this all the way down, neck, chest. And remember that bowl of fun from earlier? Don't worry, we're not wasting that either. Okay, we've got a whole bunch of clean dirt mixed with the Pendulum Potion and the honey mud. I'm just putting this everywhere. And then we'll see if there's any more questions. So if there's anything I didn't cover, I'm gonna cover myself first, and then we'll take a few minutes to go through anything else that you leave for me. So this is your moment. If you haven't dropped a question yet and you have anything else to ask, this is all gonna sit. Okay, so I'm back to what I was talking about. Get the last of what you have. Do the backs of your arms right here. We all know what I'm talking about. Do this, and then tell me if you've ever felt your arms feel this soft in your life. Massage that in. Both sides. Yes, I have a tattoo. I got it when I was 16 years old. When I was 16, I was going to school in Minnesota, and I skipped school to take a Greyhound bus to San Francisco to meet a girl I met on the internet. And then I got a tattoo and went 3 days home on the Greyhound without any money because I'd spent my last 50 on that guy. All right, rinse my hands. And this is a mud monster. All right, and let me catch up. Meet you all here. Okay, another question slightly off topic, but would you mind sharing where your robe is from? I'm pretty sure, let me double check. I think it was Lunia. I think. But let me make sure before it wasn't! I'm so glad I checked. It's better than that. It's by Tylynn Nguyen. Tylynn. Tylynn. It was a collaboration that she did some years ago. I actually don't know if it's still for sale. I will check. Send me a DM, and if you're curious about the robe, and I'll find out some information on it. What I do know is it's very comfortable and it washes well. The tiles are beautiful. Thank you. I will miss them. But you won't once you see what we're going to do here. Have you ever considered a weekend retreat, learning, playing, enjoying, and featuring your products? Oh, are you living in my head? It's literally all I've been thinking about for the last 6 months. So, sign up for the newsletter. Soon, I will be sending a brief email where I'm just collecting information from people who are interested in gathering with me. Small groups, large groups, short things that you can show up to for an evening, and much deeper, slow, immersive experiences of multiple days. I have dreams. I want to do them with you. So, yes, I want to do that. If I don't wear makeup during the day, but only the used blue and jasmine garden and mineral lightly tinted sunscreen, do you think at night it's possible to clean my skin with only honey mud? Yes, I do. But you will have to check that for yourself. Personally, in the evenings, I almost always do the honey mud, real simple and easy, warm, wet skin made into a milk. Or I will do the Pendulum Potion if I'm wanting like a really beautiful, steamy cleanse and reset. It just feels really nourishing and warm. And then it's funny because I reach for it for that. But my skin really, really, really loves the effect after. So I forget about the Pendulum Potion a little bit in the evenings as I'm always trying to sneak in the problem solver anywhere I can. So usually the Pendulum Potion ends up coming out to play with me in the morning in the clean dirts. But it's fun to bring it for the real ritual at night. It's hard to answer that. because so many people are so different with the things that they use. But for what you describe, if you're feeling good and you're using, light things on your skin during the day, all you need is the honey mud. If you need more, you can always do a second cleanse with it, or you can begin with the Pendulum Potion and follow with the honey mud. That works too. Lots of different ways to play there. Personally, my skin doesn't do that great when I over cleanse it. And so a lot of days I'm not wearing, I pretty much haven't worn makeup for the last 3 years. So I'm not removing makeup typically. But if I have sunscreen on, the Pendulum Potion takes that away like nothing. If it's lighter sunscreen or a mineral sunscreen, for not a beach day, but for a light day, then the honey mud is perfectly fine for that. And if you like to shower at night, then flip everything that I do. You can do the clean dirt at night with the with the Pendulum Potion. You can flip your problem solver to doing your morning emails. So again, wherever they fit, put them for you. But no, there's no rule book. There's no rule book. If your skin feels clean and you feel satisfied, move on. Don't overdo it. Do you recommend using the honey mud first before the clean dirt? Again, it depends. Most mornings when I'm out coming into shower, I did a thorough cleanse the night before. I maybe even did the problem solver the night before, and so I'm feeling really pretty fine. And when I get in the morning, I wake up and I make some decisions. Some days, for me, I don't wash my face at all in the morning. Some mornings I wake up and either my skin just feels perfectly content and I feel great going about my day with just a touch of the blue cocoon and the jasmine garden, and that's it. I might not even rinse my skin. That's one step. The elevation from that is rinse, then follow with the blue cocoon and the jasmine garden the youth do. Step further than that is cleanse with the honey mud, silky milk, massage into wet skin, rinse that away, and follow with the blue cocoon that you do the honey mud. Amplify that, you could do the clean dirt or a blend with the clean dirt. So you see where I'm going? You can make this as minimal or as maximal as you need that day. I'm ordering the bowl and brush after this. All of you better. Otherwise, I don't know why you were here. But really, you want the bowl and the brush. Please don't do the blends without the bowl and the brush. You'll just be miserable and mad at me, and I am too sensitive for that. I'm looking to invest into your products. What should I start with, or do I just purchase the whole line at once? There are 3 options. 1, email us at care@lindstrom.com. Tell us about your history, tell us what products you're using, tell it ours, anyone else's, what you've loved, what you feel meh about, what you're really excited about that you want to keep for sure, but how does it play with ours, what things that you have that you actually kind of don't care about and are happy to swap out. Start there. Or 2, pick what's exciting to you. Pick what you're most just anticipating getting on your skin. What do you think about over and over and over? What is the tab that you leave open in your browser and return to every 5th day? What are the things that you know you want to try? Do that first. Order at Lindstrom.com. At the cart, select your 2 gifts. You get to select 2 deluxe minis of your choosing. So pick the one that you're just wild for. And add to it the ones you're real curious about. And then you'll know. And email us. Do that together. Third choice is get it all. Load up your arsenal. Have your full container. It's like a kitchen. I want a fully stocked pantry. I don't know if I want spicy today or salty today or sweet today or sour today. I don't know if my skin is going to be craving the clean dirt or the problem solver or the youth dew or the honey mud or the blue cocoon or the jasmine garden or the pendulum potion. I don't know yet. And so if I have the full arsenal there, if I have everything in my treasure chest, then I'm equipped. I'm ready. And I can actually listen when my skin tells me something. I can use my fingertips and go, ah, yes, I would like a little more exfoliation. Or, ah, I would like a little more softness. Or, ah, maybe all I need is just a touch of the blue cocoon and to lay down. So, yeah, you can do it. You can do it like that. But I would say no matter what option you choose, please do engage with us. Engage with us. It's why we're here. What would be used for hormonal breakouts? All of it together in the rhythm that works for you. And again, go to the Explore Skin Rituals tab at Lindstrom.com, drop into the rituals there. They are such a big help, especially if you're feeling shy about reaching out. Don't be shy, but if you are, our website is the absolute best place to jump off from. I love that you're all excited and signed up for emails. Okay. Have you ever thought about a cozy spa close to your house with just your products? Yes, I've thought about them everywhere. I think about it all the time. We'll get there. We'll get there. I think I'm coming to you first. How often do you use any of your products to see melasma lighten? That depends on everything. Why it's there. Did it show up with pregnancy? Did it show up with some other hormonal fluctuation? Did it show up due to genetics? Is it sun exposure? Is it? So many questions. I can't answer that without knowing more about you and your personal skin history. But I'd love the opportunity to dive in with you. Reach out. Sunscreens. Send an email to care@maylindstrom.com. We will share some of our favorites with you and where we're at on that path. I don't wash in the morning. Yeah, I often don't wash in the morning either. And even sometimes in the evening, I listen to my skin, and some days it says no. So the most bare minimum thing that I can do and that I always do, I always have the Jasmine Garden. I always have the Blue Cocoon. Anything from there is bonus. If you're someone whose skin likes less, Blue Cocoon and Jasmine Garden. Start there. It might be your forever for everything. And yes, I will absolutely have this posted right up on the grid and in our video tab as soon as I hop off and write a little description and put that up there. So as long as the Instagram gods are with me, you will have a recording of this. You can watch it all back. Please share this with other people that you know are using our yummy stuff so that they can have the most yummy experience too. Was I a professional esthetician? No. No, I'm not. But I have thought many times over the years that I wish that I was, because it's a little bit like, so my mother is a body worker, and all my life, I love touching people, physically touching people. And when I'm able to work with people with my hands, it's just one of my absolute favorite things in the whole world. But because I didn't pursue massage and I didn't pursue an esthetician license, the opportunities for that have been smaller, and it's something that I think about. Yeah, I love it. So even just from a legal perspective, I think at some point I will probably become all of those things and more, just because I don't want to be limited in the tools that I have to share with you. It's just really such a gift to have all of you here and to be in this body, being able to share. So more to come. Lindstrom Spa in New York, for sure. I am planning to come to New York sometime, hopefully this year, and I will put together something there if I do. It's been, I don't even want to say this, it's almost shocking to me, but I don't think I've been in New York since 2015. So, and I have a 917 phone number, so that's questionable behavior. I'll make it up to you. my loves, that is all for today. The honey mud and the problem solver are nearly done, as you can see. So if this was full strength problem solver, I would be turning green now. So when you first apply the problem solver, it goes on near black. It dries to a lighter green color. Because this is mixed with the honey mud, it doesn't fully completely dry. So that could also be really great if a lot of people ask. So sometimes the problem solver, when it dries, if you're moving around and doing things, it has fall off because you're wearing mud on your face. So when it dries, sometimes there's little bits and flakes that go around, which is totally fine unless you're trying to like eat pasta and then you end up with like, is that pepper? No, it's not pepper. I'm eating my face. Luckily, it's all good. But with that in mind, if you ever want it to not flake so much, the honey mud helps with that, as does just sitting still. Just be still for a moment. It's a perfect time to read a book, not eat pasta. Here we are. Thank you for the comment on my arms. I'm getting strong these days. That's been part of figuring out that I have a body too. Is I actually really love to take care of myself now in a way that it just wasn't natural to me for a long time. And so when I get on here with all of you and I talk forever about who knows what, I think it's just because at the end of the day, I hear from some of you. I hear from some of you every time that this makes a difference. I hear from some of you every time that you show up and you are different with yourself. And that you're making your showers more beautiful, that you're spending more time with your breath and massage, that when you walk around out in the world, not even doing your skincare, that you are moving differently, feeling different. And that means a lot to me. It's all I want to do in the world. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be me. I love you. I will see you soon.